party to the right, and like with it, like outside of these two factions, there seems to be no middle ground there. So this is basically those are pretty much the facts, or like where it is at right now. The Left Party has 54 MPs in the national government. This is based on the victory, or victory quote unquote, in the 2005 national elections. There they gained 8.4%. Currently in the polls they have emerged as the strongest opposition party. They're stronger than the market radicals, the FDP, which in the national elections of 2005 had still been stronger than the Left Party. Like they have been, the Left Party has been the strongest opposition party, I think, for 1.5 years now. And they're currently at 40% of the vote, which is like the highest, result that they've gained in those polls. And 14%, just to give you the numbers, like Germany, as you will know, is a country of 80 million inhabitants, and based on those people who actually go to vote, this equals, based on the numbers of 2005, 6.5 million voters. There has also been like a fairly strong expansion in terms of membership, of party membership. The PDS had a problem of continuously declining membership until most recently, and they have, because of the aging membership, mostly people, of course, of the old East Germany, and this has been put to a halt in that development towards like increasing membership. Of the currently approximately 80,000 members of the party, there are approximately 62,000 of the old PDS and 12,000 of the WASG, the western half, and there has been, ever since the merging in June 2007, there's been an increase of approximately 6,000 to 7,000 members. And like interestingly enough, what the party has been celebrating was open, especially rank and file unionists, or like mid-level unionists that joined the party collectively. And the most prominent number was when 60 mid-level and top unionists joined the party shortly after the merge. I have a few theses that I just want to lay out, and then I think we should enter into the discussion, especially asking the question, what can be learned from the electoral success of the PDS for northern core capitalist countries, because I think there are a lot of the experiences that have been made with social declassing and like the neoliberal transformation are fairly similar. Also the class structures are fairly similar, so maybe there's something to be learned here from that development. I mean, looking at it from the outside, one might think that the transformation of the German party system to a five-party system could just be a European normalization in the context, or like a continental European normalization in the context of proportional representation electoral systems, namely where a social democratic party is put under pressure from left parties, from parties to its left, be it communist or post-communist parties, which benefit from rightward turns from the established social democratic parties, as it can be observed in Italy, in France, or in Scandinavian countries. However, I think that there is a possibility that this is like something else, or something that goes far beyond such a European normalization, namely that the audacity of, or that the left party might be the possibility of the emergence of a new left. I think it's because it is the product of a hegemonic crisis, or of an emergent hegemonic crisis of neoliberalism, which shows in a lot of polls that have come out of Germany in the past few months. And the past year. And I think that the audacity of the left party to call itself the left, or simply the left, is something that can and might speak to the cooptation or absorption of the like all the movements that came out of 1968 into neoliberalism, and that is can basically now or is challenging the monopoly on the concept of what is left from the real existing left parties, left-wing parties in Germany, namely the Red-Green coalition, which was the real existing left-wing government under neoliberalism in Germany. And I think, and like this move to call the party the left was not uncontested, especially the Party of Democratic Socialism, or like a significant share of the PDS, was not very happy about that renaming of the party, of that new name, because the concept of democratic socialism, which entails the notion that capitalism is non-sustainable and that there has to be a transition towards a post-capitalist society, regardless of the fact what that shape might be, but of course that it had to be democratic and could only be democratic and kind of like a shift away from state socialism. Like there had been discontent about that move to call the party the left, but I think that calling it the left is something that is actually one of the strong points of the party, because it is now actually challenging the monopoly on what is left. And is potentially taking it away from the Social Democratic Party and the Green Party. And a parallelism that I think might illustrate that in a way is the parallelism of the cooptation of the democratic elements of the bourgeois democratic revolutions in the failed revolutions of 1848. Namely, that it took the socialist movement, like the Fourth Estate, to emerge as like with an emancipative project of its own, namely socialism, as opposed to bourgeois democracy. It took it almost 30 years to re-emerge as an independent project of the old bourgeois democratic project. And I think like maybe something can be learned from the way that this has played out in the mid-19th and late 19th century. I think that, like my thesis is that the emergence of the left party in Germany is the first party political leftist articulation of the contradictions of neoliberalism. I say that for three reasons. First, that like left parties, I mean, there have been a number of left parties in Europe, new-founded left parties, and not only there, like if we look at Canada with Quebec Solidaire, if we look at Respect in the United Kingdom, if we look at also the success of the Dutch Socialist Party and its transformation from a Maoist party to what it is today, to a left populist party, the Refondatione Comunista, etc. But in all of those countries where you have those leftist parties that are more or less successful, these are either not exclusively left articulations, because most of them are in heavy competition with modern right-wing populist parties, which are kind of natural byproduct, or seemingly a natural byproduct of neoliberal modernization. Secondly, most of them are not as important, both in terms of their organizational size or the limited resources. The third element might be that they cannot be as successful because of the political systems that they are dealing with, like, say, Respect in a majority voting system. And third, in terms of the size of the countries and the relevance for the global political economy. I think in all of these, I think all those elements add to the relevance of the new German left party. I think that without the left